And look at the raid here! Oh, I missed the raid! Oh my god! Hello everyone, and welcome to this third game in this player spotlight series, spotlighting the player Tim for this week. Today he's going to play a Nomad game. This is a game from 2010 against the player better known as Ra. And Ra was certainly one of my favorite players to watch streaming back in 2012, 2014. Doesn't play or stream so much anymore. Very outspoken personality, and you might see that a little bit in the chat later on in this game. This is a Huns War. Nomad used to be an extremely popular map. It's still popular, but not as popular as it used to be. It's a fairly crazy map, as there's a lot of randomness involved. The map looks extremely different every game. The resource distribution is different. But more importantly, let's talk about what I wanted to highlight in this game about Tim's playstyle and why I chose this game. So in the first two games, we saw how efficient Tim could be with keeping his units alive, taking good fights, not spending extra resources on military once it's not useful, and healing up his units to be able to play the long game with the resources. We also saw in the first two games how he's able to really abuse his map, go for strategies that you would only be able to do on, say, like a really closed map. Likes to stonewall his map, likes to hide his military choice from his opponent behind his walls, and also when he's losing, likes to still try to be able to go out across the map and take those extra resources. Does that in every game. In this game, I want to be able to paint a little bit of a different picture of Tim. He's not always just a defensive player, but sometimes he can be crazy aggressive. And let's go over to his point of view over here. And hopefully in this game, you'll be able to see that as well. So he's certainly can be a very conservative player at times, a very smart player, but at times also be unpredictable and very, very extremely aggressive. Sometimes to the detriment of himself, but for the fun of us, that'll be good. So this map is Nomad. We did talk a little bit about it. They're of course talking. Any game that you see with Ra, there'll be a little bit of trash talk in there. So I hope you enjoy that. And of course it's Nomad, so it lends itself to that. On Nomad, you want to be able to find your resources nice and quickly, and it's really the epitome of what I think Age of Empires is. You start out with just a few villagers, resources across the map. You have to decide, how you're going to take your resources. You can take different kinds of food. It's a nice balance between, water and land. It's really a map that I think really well defines Age of Empires, and scouting is exceptionally important. So in this game, Timmy's got two deer, going to take those at first, built the mill on his berries, can take the deer from the mill, and the shorefish from the mill. However, I don't think he has a dock right away, so he's chosen to go with the mill over the dock. Can't really blame him considering he has no sheep to start this game. Usually you have more sheep than this. Ra has not had particularly a great start either. He doesn't have that many sheep either. Usually you see players with 5 or 6 sheep. Instead, he does have 3 boar, though, and is taking quite a bit of wood. I don't think he has a dock up either, but is looking to get one up. You want to get your dock up nice and early on Nomad. That way you can build your economy, both from your town center and from your dock. Could I turn on friend or foe colors? I absolutely can. There we go. We have Tim in red and Ra in blue. And whoever gets up the dock will have a little bit of advantage in this game. This is a Huns War. That's probably why you don't see the docks early enough. Huns are probably one of the worst civs on Nomad. And normally you don't say that for any map with Huns because they're a pretty good civ. But because they start out with extra wood, that really hurts their start. And it's a little slower start on Nomad. They'll have some time. What we can talk about, though, is the map. Both players are extremely close together. They're within the same screen even. So this is going to be a fairly aggressive game, an extremely aggressive game even. Ra has a nice wood line here. And same thing for Tim, nice wood line. Tim has access to stone. And 0 access to gold, which is extremely unfair. But hey, that's Nomad. You see some golds here on the right side, but that's going to be very hard for Tim to access. Much easier for Ra to access. So already an inherent advantage for Ra, just by where he's placed his town center. It's a big advantage too. Got his dock up sooner. That's very good. Looks like Tim is about to place his dock right pretty soon as well. I forgot to mention, Tim does like the map Nomad. He's played quite a few games on Nomad. He's fairly well known for that map. So it's good to see a little bit of variety from the 2 Arabia games we saw earlier. Oh! Tim killed Ra's villager at the very beginning. I don't know how you saw that. I guess that's what the trash talk was for at the beginning. Yeah, look at the KD. Yeah, that's pretty obvious now. So forget about what I said. This is more or less an even game then. Losing a villager is a big deal, but certainly these golds are certainly a very big deal as well. Tim getting his first dock up on the left side. Let's take a look at their scouting. Scouting is so important. You need to find your opponent. You also need to find where gold and stone are, as well as a good place to place your dock. So we have found gold, if we're raw. Have we found stone, though? Doesn't look like we have found stone. And imagine if there was a stone right here. If there was a stone right there, Ra might be considering tower rushing. Otherwise, you know, it completely changes your strategy based off your scouting. Where is the stone anyway for Ra? On map. Miss stone at the very top. Oh, here we go. Stone is right here. There's all the sheep too. So Ra's not really able to see stone. Take a look at Tim's scouting. Tim's able to see his gold. He, of course, decided to sacrifice this villager's, you know, work time in order to be able to get better scouting. It's something you have to be able to sacrifice on Nomad. I hate doing it. I hate scouting with villagers, but it's something you have to do. And those sheep are going to go away, which is unfortunate for Tim, as Ra was doing the exact same thing. So we'll take those 2 sheep. Who won the last game? Chris won the last game. Alright, so both players gearing up to the next age. Oh no, Tim! Tim is about to, unfortunately, find his opponent's town center, and Ra will have a little bit of payback. If I would just try to blend in. Blend in, kill the sheep. Oh, man. Oh, boy. KD now 1-1. Unusual, you see 2 kills already in the Dark Age in a Nomad game. A nice fishing economy from Tim. It's got 3 fish out. Ra with 3 fish out as well. Both these dock positions are fairly good. Certainly we might see some galley wars. This is Age of Conquerors, so no fire galleys. For better or worse. And I'm gonna supplement his food income with some deer. Having trouble getting up to the next age. He has very little food income coming in right now. Trying to really saturate these berries. Gotta do what you gotta do. Chris. Also having a little trouble with food. These boars help a lot, though. That'll be enough to get it up to the next age. Let's see who's able to go up first. That could be a big advantage if you're up to the next age first. You're able to unlock galleys, unlock towers. Those are the 2 big ones. Here we go, mining camp. See, does Ra have a... He needs to build this building to have the second building to go up. I always forget that on Nomad. Every time. Build the lumber camp as well. Hopefully this will be done by the time that boar runs out for Ra. Tim already has his buildings, of course. These villagers are going to have to walk all the way back, but it should be enough food to go up the next age. Once they get in. Yeah, there you go. However, regardless, Ra is up to the next age a little bit faster. That could be an advantage if it comes down to a galley war. And it certainly will, with both these docks right on top of each other. Every second counts. Fishing 7 to 9, so 2 more for Ra. You lose your fish early game, that's like losing a third of your economy, essentially. Which can be a good game. Interestingly, Ra going up with a barracks. That's a big investment. If you want to go full galleys, then certainly you wouldn't go with the barracks. You have quite a few villagers on gold. Looks like Tim might have been thinking about taking that gold. He's actually going to take these other gold, which is pretty lucky. There's more villagers in this amight also find these sheep. But I'm liking Ra's strategy. I mean, he's already got a barracks up. He's got a gold income going. Going to be faster to the next age. Tim has a lot of idle time going towards this gold. Not like he's going to be able to fine-tune how many gold miners he has either. He might have too little, might have too many. Because those villagers are so far away from the town center. And let's see what damage Ra can do with his earlier feudal time. This villager over here could be preparing a tower. What is he going to do? Even a palisade wall right there would be so annoying. Or a stone wall. The town center, though, what are you doing? 3 villagers going to the left. Bidex coming in. And those galleys should be out momentarily. Here we go. Archery range coming up from Ra. Archers can stand here, stand here. And the first galley should be out momentarily. Both docks right next to each other. I've never seen that before. Okay, so it's going to start damaging that fishing ship. That's going to be 1 fishing ship down for Tim. Going to go 9 to 6. And as well, this galley's kind of on its own. Here we go, 3 galleys together. All about the micro in these early galley battles. So you want this one to be a runner. This galley's not doing anything. This galley's the runner. So Ra taking an early lead on the water. Going to take his first galley from Tim. Tim not really reacting. We have a tower battle. That's what's going on down over here. This tower gets up. That could be devastating. This archer behind's really going to help out. Is this tower going to go down? If you see a tower go up, you have to make a decision. You have to either go for it or run away immediately. No time to think. And Tim has gone full commitment with taking down this tower. Doesn't care if he's going to lose a villager. He needs that tower down. This tower does so much for Ra. Takes away the wood line. And with these 2 archers here, even without fletching, and the repairs here, tower is still going down though. 110, 80, 60. 1 villager goes down though. Oh, that was still worth it though. That was worth it for Tim just to get that tower down. Any hesitation with that though, like 2 seconds of hesitation would be like 2 more arrows that the archers could fire, and that might be it. However, Tim is still not in a good position. Another archer range coming up. Another tower could be coming up. Although, looks like it won't happen because there's no more stone being collected. Tim is going to try his own tower, but that's a terrible position. Would have been good if that tower got up and Ra did not see it. However, that did not happen. That tower will get taken down immediately. No amount of repairing is going to keep that up, especially with no archers to support. So terrible position for Tim this game. Absolutely dreadful. At the very least, though, he might be winning back the water. It's hard to tell. Now going to be 4 on 4. This one's pretty weak. We have 2 archery ranges pumping away from Ra, and no military buildings out from Tim. None at all. So what's Tim going to do? He's going to wall. He's going to do what Tim does best. Wall those villagers out, and they should be safe. These villagers will hopefully be safe behind the town center. The problem is how you can't seed farms here. You're going to have to seed farms in the back somewhere. Assuming you don't win the water, of course. The water is still so important. Luckily, these gold miners are safe, although they are collecting a bit of a surplus of gold. That's never good. Those archers could be annoying behind the wood line. Don't run into the town center, though. So they'll be very annoying. And it looks like Ra is winning the water, though. So these fishing ships could be in danger. Those fish, luckily, have run out. So they're going to want to move to another dock anyway. But it's so hard to come back in water in, I think, AOC. It's much easier in the newer balance to come back because you have demo ships. You can garrison things in the dock. But it's really hard in Age of Conquerors. First military building coming out from Tim. It's going to be a barracks. And what is he doing? I said this match is going to showcase Tim's full aggression. And this is the second time he's kind of Just gonna use villagers to batter down a building. This is an archery range going down. Archer's gonna come out, but there's too many villagers here. Can't stop the mob. Tim's still trying a bit on the water. Wants to make sure these fishing ships are able to collect as much fish as possible. Just gonna run back the weak villager. No fletching's done. These archers have to walk all the way around to get to the left side. There we go. Archer range coming up from Tim now. And that was a pretty poor position on that archer range. Why place the archer range there? Why not place it here? Another archer range coming up from Ra, though. Not a big deal for him. This helps to equalize things, but I still like Ra's position. Well ahead in the military count. And, of course, Tim should go with skirmishers to counter the archers. But the problem, though, is Tim is still taking so much gold. These are essentially wasted villagers if he's just going to make skirmishers. Why are you taking so much gold? Really essential that Tim is able to keep these fishing boats working, because again, he's not taking any food income at home. He needs to keep these fishing boats working, otherwise won't be able to create villagers. Still pretty close here. It looks like Ra's going to take this. Tim is, of course, running back with his fishing ships. Only has 2 left. That said, Ra only has 4 left. And a few farms coming up. But Ra will be good on villager production. Skirmishers with good upgrades, able to push back these archers. Problem though, Ra can start adding fishing ships, and that certainly would be very beneficial for him. Go 4-2. So Ra gonna go back for now. Gonna add some skirmishers to his own, get padded archer armor. Should be able to push out then. Ra has had so much less idle time this whole game. He should have a lot more resources to play with. But Tim has 600 resources in the bank. Ra doesn't have that much more, but again, I think he'll have more in the coming few minutes. And certainly a tower in the middle might even be something that's worthwhile as well. This is a very bad fight for Tim. Why is he taking this fight? I have no clue. Gonna lose a lot of his army. Gonna lose even more of his army. That archer could be dead. It's dead. Now military, 14-5. Both players still investing heavily onto water. Tim adding another dock. That's a cute place for those fishing ships to take shore fish. But hey, it works. Yeah, pretty crazy Nomad game so far. It's about to get crazier though. And in the bottom, just trying to take as many resources as possible. And look at this, 3 archery ranges from Ra versus only the 2 of Tim. With fletching, these archer units are being very annoying. This woodline is extremely inefficient. So it looks like Tim has added the extra dock, whereas Ra has chosen to add the extra archery range. We'll see how it pays off for each player. Right now, most of the damage coming from Ra, though. Ra is still able to take his fish, luckily. Villager count is 4 ahead for Ra. Both players found fairly high villager counts for a feudal game. And even a stable coming up. What? A stable. For Ra. Is he planning on going scouts or planning on castle age? Because he certainly could do either. I would go with castle age with these resources. We just think about a knight later on. And there we go. Castle Age coming in for Raw. Where's Tim? Is Tim close to going up to the next stage? Tim is nowhere near going up to the next stage. So will we see a GG from Tim as soon as his opponent hits the Castle Age? I don't know. How could you be this far away from Castle Age, though? Military count, pretty similar. Or Scholar coming in only now from Kravitz. That's okay. From Raw. Happens. What do you do if you're Tim in this situation, though? Do you keep adding farms? Do you keep adding archery ranges? There's a lot of skirmishes on the field for Raw. It would be very useful if you saw that to go Scouts, but Scouts will keep you in Feudal Age forever, and you can't win a game being in Feudal Age forever. Or can you? So 2 stables coming up from Tim. He is still nowhere near going up to the next stage. And at this point, he's gone he's gone full aggressive. You've got to make a decision when you're this far behind in the game. Either you're going to save up and, you know, try your best to defend for those next 10 minutes where your opponent's in the Castle Age and hopefully be able to catch up later. Or you're just going to go full Feudal Age. Go full aggressive, hope you can do the damage. And hope your opponent can't afford too many of his upgrades or too many of his strong Castle Age units. And Tim has opted to go full aggressive here. Bloodlines coming in from Tim, but at the same time, Elite Skirmisher, Balconero, and a better economy with Bowsaw coming in. And really, there's nothing to counter Elite Skirmishers. When you have this kind of upgrade disparity, there is nothing to counter, you know, these kinds of upgrades. An Elite Skirmisher can take out Scouts if you have enough of them. And of course, they will destroy unupgraded Skirmishers and Archers. No crossbow upgrade coming in, though. I would like to see that. Tim is going to take this fight, and so is Raw. Raw only has Elite Skirmisher. He doesn't have the crossbow upgrade, didn't get the extra armor. Tim has the hill here, so he has enough attack. A few knights coming in, though. This Siege Workshop was temporarily denied. I think these knights should turn the tide in this game. Everything pointing to Raw taking this game right here in this one big fight. Luckily, Tim with the foresight to add a few spearmen. Most of the skirmishers are down. Of course, that crossbow upgrade did not come in. And those spearmen doing some work. Looks like the knights will go down. Nice micro from Tim. Nice being on top of that hill. That hill really saved him. Being aware of the map, of course. And somehow, against all odds, Tim somehow won that fight. Despite being, you know, equal military numbers, better upgrades, stronger units for Raw, Tim somehow won that fight. But that is kind of a small victory, as knights are pouring into his base. No upgrades yet. Cavalry archers are now being made. Tim still with basically 0 food in the bank, and now his economy is being raided. Villager count is dead even. Military count much higher from Tim, but what's the quality of this army? It's spearmen. The spearmen are doing work, man. What, 3 spearmen taking out 3 knights and 2 cavalry archers? That's incredible value. Yeah, this is a pretty crazy game. So that knight not being effective. Okay, Tim can get back get his economy back working again. Those villagers still, of course, working on the right side. So right now, if you're Raw, you need a few upgrades on your units. Your knights will be much stronger with +1 armor. You should already have bloodlines at this stage, but you don't. A siege workshop would be incredible. You know, with the Mangano. Just knights and Manganos would be so strong. So Tim investing even further into the feudal age, getting foraging. 3 barracks pumping away with spearmen. Never seen this on a Nomad game. Still pumping away with, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 military production buildings. Scale binding armor coming in on the knights. Going to go for another raid. A lot of these villagers are pretty low. They should get some decent villager kills. Back on the water, there's just no way to contest fire ships. So Tim is going to lose his fish. That was a big part of his economy. Archer's going to do their best, but these knights still will get a few additional kills. We're going to get some kills on these archers. I think the archers are only doing, what, 2 damage? Spearman going to get another knight, though. That's lucky for him. And Tim is stabilized, but he's stabilized in the feudal age. He's not going up to the castle age. Still making scouts. Playing on a big attack. It's even harder with an extra town center being built. An extra 2 town centers being built. It's hard to raid under town centers. And of course your opponent is gaining a military advantage. Knights do so well against scouts. With that 2 melee armor. Those scouts going down on the right side. Keep here. So now, Tim has been full on the, not only he's been investing fully into land army, he's also fully invested into water army as well to protect those 9 fishing ships. And that's a lot of galleys. Enough to take down even fire ships. So these fishing ships will continue to work. That's great for him. Finally going to unleash all of these scouts. They're fully upgraded for the feudal age. They're not going to like the town centers too much, but maybe they can get a few villager kills under them. Right now, just not enough military from Ra. By going 3 town centers, you're putting most of your food and wood economy into the town centers. And really sacrificing your ability to make armies. So perhaps 3 town centers was too many. Ra trying to get his food economy even stronger, adding more farms. They are a little bit exposed, though, to these scouts. The scouts are moved around on the backside. They're going to choose their angle wisely. There's no way you could fight this with knights. You're going to need a mangonel, a scorpion maybe. Tower coming up from Tim as well, so he's really going all out. Scam mail coming on the spearmen. Where do those scouts go? The scouts are going to hit the gold, and that's going to be great. Might get 1 or 2 kills, cut off the gold production of Ra. Still extremely hard though, because Tim is still stuck in the feudal age. Ra has 3 town centers, should be taking the villager lead. Should be able to afford his upgrades. There's still something in that siege workshop, I'm not sure what. Town center C able to do some work. Do a lot of work, in fact. Taking out half of the army of Tim as he's not paying attention. And this could be some very good damage from Tim, though. What is Ra still doing with these villages in this area? With Tim's army in the area? Those knights are not nearly strong enough yet. Should be able to take out the scouts, but the problem is the spearmen. Why not, if you're Ra, why not keep adding these elite skirmishers? They're not going to be very good against the scouts, but you combine them with the knights and suddenly you've got a deadly combination. That tower, unfortunately, within range of the town center. But it's a nice idea. It'll take away a lot of farms. Looks like the water has been almost completely won by Tim. Tim could add maybe another dock to make this more efficient, though. Towers coming up in the south? Wow. Those towers are going to do a lot of damage. Ra's going to think he can batter this one down, but no, he can't because there's another tower in the back. So he's going to have to walk away from that. Although the knights are going to come in over on the right side. Raiding has stopped in the south. So what Tim can't have right now is to have Ra stabilize. If Ra stabilizes, his economy is just going to take off. And it looks like these 2 towers will go down, so that's not successful from Tim. Villager count now only 4 ahead for Ra. It could jump ahead at any moment, though, with 2 extra town centers. Look at the mob. Look at the mob taking down the town center. Another tower coming up to help take away a lot of these farms. Tim really not giving a damn about going to Castle Age. Getting another upgrade. Yet again, stone mining. Still producing scouts from all of the stables. Has tons of scouts now. And with this many scouts, might even think about, you know, staying under the town center a little bit longer. But not too long. As you can still see, the town center still do a lot of damage. These knights are very deadly. Would like to see bloodlines as the next upgrade. Right side towers were taken down. Ra still has all of this access to gold. I don't know where Tim is getting gold at this stage of the game. Looks like he's going to try to take gold on the left side of the map. Going to build a nice dock here, which will grant him a lot of fish. And towers creeping all over the left side. All of these farms now useless. Ra, if there's one resource he needs food. He needs food for his 3 town centers, needs food for his knights, and for his upgrades. Ra is 20 villagers up, though. Although that's about to go down a little bit. The 2 towers in the back were a distraction, maybe. A lot of spearmen. Look how little damage the scouts do versus the knights, though, even without +2 armor done. So this area seems pretty critical for Ra. If I was Ra, why not stonewall this? You could stonewall a little bit and certainly help yourself out a lot. I'm gonna drop another tower. It looks like these knights are really doing their job. Where'd the spearmen? Oh, the spearmen are still here. Okay, they're fine. Again, no elite skirmishers from Ra. That's something I would like to see. Tower coming up over here, so really going all the way around the map. That tower certainly does a lot. Clears up these 2 farms. And maybe even these 2 if it can reach. Yes, he does like to wall out the heck out of Arabia. So Knight's going down to the Spearman predictably. Did Tim take his foot off the gas, though? No, he's still making scouts. They're just stuck at home. He lost a lot of them, though. And look at the raid here! Oh, I missed the raid! Oh my god! What in the world happened here? These are all recent corpses. That was a huge raid from Ra. Look at the villager numbers. It's 55 to 35. 35 villagers from Ra, from Tim. He must have had 35 villagers maybe 25 minutes ago. He's gone back 25 minutes in development. From an economy standpoint. My god. Even gonna get even more villager kills here. Every villager is essential for Tim. Every villager. The whole point of this push was that he had a better economy, was able to raid more. Now it looks like the tables have turned a little bit with this huge night raid. Tim forgot to leave some spearmen back at home. Look at Tim's resources barely coming in anymore. Look at these towers are doing so much. Gonna send even more knights into the back of the base. There's a few spearmen here. There's enough spearmen here to defend, it looks like, for this particular one. And this is a nice little bit of economy. It is exposed, but it's working nice and efficiently at least. Another siege workshop coming up, probably for some rams. Again, still would have liked to see a lead skirmisher. I have to press that in. And that's really not enough knights to take on this many spearmen, scouts. There probably aren't a lot of villagers under these town centers anymore because these Town centers are pretty useless with all these towers around it. Look at how many towers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 towers. And that's going to be another victory for Ra. Well, with 2 town centers basically useless, Ra is essentially down to 1 town center now. Scout's going to move into this undefended area. In the back of the base, he's going to lose so many villagers here. Another tower coming up in this area too, just to secure things even better. While that army's distracted, looks like Ra is going to try to take out a few of these towers. But look at how many villagers are going down. And I think this is where the scores switch. Tim is going 200 points ahead, 300 points ahead. Tim might even have more villagers in just a minute. How incredible is this? Tim with this crazy aggressive play. Full feudal. Crazy rating. Full investment to every unit he can possibly make in feudal age. Including on the water. Has somehow brought him back in this game. And who knows if he's even going to go to Castle Age this game. We're almost an hour in the game and one player is still in the feudal age. And that player is Tim, and he's winning. That is pretty cool. So Ra still with the 3 villager advantage, still with the tech advantage though. I wouldn't call this game over with the 3 villager advantage and a tech advantage. Although, Ra's economy, I don't know, it just looks anemic. Even though he's got 3 extra villages, it just doesn't look like a healthy economy. That said, Tim's economy doesn't really look impressive either. I don't know what I'm expecting to see. In fact, he's only got 3 gold miners. Most of this has been scouts and spearmen, of course. Not a lot of archers. The scout's going to take out those archery ranges. And are things stabilizing a little bit for Ra? Got good food, good wood, good gold. That's unfortunate with these galleys, though. They're in the perfect position. More villagers coming forward from Tim. Could take away these recently seeded farms. But look at the population. Population 50 to 100. These galleys will help out with this tower so bad. And this tower creep just could continue to come forward and take away more and more farms. That's exactly what Ra doesn't need. Here comes the scouts. Should be enough scouts to take on the knights. Are there any other knights on the map for Ra? Got 7 military. All the knights going down, and no GG, just resigned. Ra resigned. What an incredible game from Ra. What an incredible game from both players, but what an incredible game from Tim. I hope through this game you're able to see, you know, a little bit of the other side of Tim. Sure, he could be a very defensive, a very conservative player, a player that prides himself on being very efficient in fights, being, you know, behind walls, but also is able to ramp up the pressure when he needs to. And I hope you learned a little bit about the series, about this particular player in the series. Next week we'll be covering another player. I'll probably be doing the player Vivi on next Tuesday. And I hope you enjoyed the series. If you're on my YouTube channel or on Voobly Official's YouTube channel, please like, comment, subscribe. And see you soon.